We are live, Nick, and hello everyone. You may detect a slight lack of branding. There was no intro, nothing. And that's what happens when people meddle with settings and then put me in charge of things. Like I can't be bothered to look for files. I can't. So, black screen, two old men, and that is what this show will be. So look, thank you first of all for joining us. Fantastic result today. Odd game, very odd game, if we're honest, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I do want to say up front, it's be quite a short show because it's late.
Short.
What?
Did you say that right? Short.
I don't know. Do you know I've been saying words wrong all day. I think I've got a brain problem. But anyway, let's not worry about that now. I'm very old. It's late, and I should be in bed. But I've got an early start tomorrow. And Nick, you're minutes away from a nap at all times, aren't you? So, let's just do our best. So, unlikely we'll be putting anything on in terms of a link on the screen for you guys to join. So you might just have to listen today, and I apologise for that. But plenty to talk about. If we do run out of steam and there is some time left, we'll certainly put the link up. But looking at the comments, it's good to see that a lot of you very much picking out a lot of the points that I was thinking of as we went through the show. But let's just kind of give an overall summary, really. First of all, obviously, 3-0 win against Liverpool at Anfield, just a fantastic thing to have achieved for sure. What's just happened there, Nick?
Somebody has entered the studio called Do Not Add.
Is it an anagram? Sorry, we'll come back to my monologue. Dan?
Don't, Addo, don't.
Ooh, interesting. Well, anyway, further answers on a postcard or whatever, please. Thanks. Anyway, so look, we're is this now automatically sort of zooming in on my face and stuff? I don't have time for this. Whatever's happening, I don't have time for it. Look, I think 3-0 against Liverpool at Anfield, no matter the fact that they put out a very young team and that they're in bad form, it's still a wonderful result. Okay. Really, really happy with it. But an odd game and an astonishing kind of burst of moments of brilliance. But I did find myself kind of drifting into near unconsciousness throughout. How about yourself, Nick?
Well, I've kind of been removed. I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think Addo Don't has done something. Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Again. Oh, that's better. I don't know. It's this person that's come in spoiling things. Yeah. Anyway, never mind that. Like and subscribe, like the thing's telling you. I had two things coming into the game. I didn't want Saar to start. I thought he needed a rest because I thought he was poor in the previous game. How wrong I was. I predicted Wharton we'd be 1-0 and Wharton would get the winner. He wasn't even on bloody team sheet. And I predicted that it'd be Uche and Ketia and Esse up front, but I was only right in one of those. Saar redeemed himself completely, although Joe Gomez did give him a good hand to score in that goal. But save for the first 15 minutes, where we didn't really know what to expect because that team sheet must have been a shock. In the previous show, we were discussing that Liverpool would put out a really strong team just to avoid the 5 in a row, is it now, that they've lost?
Yeah, it is. I think it might. Yeah, I think it's 5 in a row now, and obviously maybe be 6. But I do think, again, I know a few Liverpool fans in a few chats with them, and they didn't really understand it either. They saw this particular game as Palace would probably be resting a few players, which we did sort of rest a few players, and it would be an ideal opportunity to just stem the tide a little bit. But Slot, decided to give an opportunity to some young players and didn't pack the bench with any real experience either. So they couldn't address anything. But I don't want to get sort of stuck in the trap of every everybody else in terms of focusing on what Liverpool did or didn't do. Really, I think it's really important that we recognise that, you know, Palace gave opportunities to a couple of players today. Canvo being one. I've just seen Zach's comment there that's been highlighted, which is exactly where I was going to go with this. He was very solid today. He did obviously have that mistake in at Selhurst in the week against Larnaca. I can never say the name. I want to say Lorcana for some reason. It doesn't matter. Against thank you. The Cypriot minnows, as they've been referred to repeatedly. But yeah, a little bit of a disaster there. And I thought he started the game a little bit exposed. I think, you know, again, you can see he's got really good pace. You can see, you know, he's confident on the ball. But because he hasn't played so much with, you know, with the first team, you can see that the positional sense isn't quite there. And he didn't at first seem to be kind of heeding the instructions bellowed at him by Lacroix in particular, just trying to get him arranged. So there was a bit of a, you know, Munoz wasn't much of a threat early on because he was back covering that space because of the, you know, the pace Liverpool had down that side, and we had a little bit of adjustment to do, and I really wanted to talk about that. The main thing I wanted to get out today was just how the team managed the game on the pitch and how the coaching staff sort of have got messages on and how we changed, because Liverpool had a clear strategy. They changed it up. They had three at the back for a bit, or for most of the game, and then started messing around with things later on when it was clear it didn't work. But when we started the game, they were pressing incredibly high, putting us under tremendous pressure when we were trying to kind of pass the ball around a relatively sedate pace at the back. So they'd done enough of an adjustment and they had a game plan, but it was 10 minutes before everybody had kind of decided how we were going to deal with that. We weren't going to let, you know, Chiesa get the ball, long ball over the top. We weren't going to let that happen, you know, again, after getting a bit of a let off early doors. You know, again, Canvo got well arranged and in terms of positioning, and it freed up Munoz to get forward once he kind of got to grips with where he should be. But no, it wasn't a perfect performance, but it was a fantastic result. And, you know, again, a couple of things to pick up on. You mentioned Wharton. Obviously, from what I understand, he just felt ill this morning. It wasn't planned that he would play no part today, but it was kind of deemed best that he kind of stepped out. And a lot of people are asking what happened with Nketiah. I don't know. I'll be honest. It might come that he had a knock, or it might be that a couple of selfish moments and the penalty situation was enough for Glasner to take action. I'm not so sure.
I reckon Slot had a word with Glasner and said, "Can you put Mateta on at half time just to give my lads a bit of a workout so they get used to it?"
So were you not impressed with Nketiah?
No, I thought he did well, and I thought we seemed to create more with Nketiah. It was good. And he didn't look like he was going to score, but he was creating enough trouble in there. And I know he didn't assist Sarr in goals, but he was instrumental in his runs off the ball, which freed Sarr. So he was making clever runs in there. That is not really that's his bread and butter. Mateta's bread and butter is completely different. It's hold up, it's power through with the ball. So perhaps I do think that Glasner thought that there was an opportunity there, or maybe it was managing minutes. He's always talking about managing minutes. Maybe that was part of the plan.
It's quite possible. I mean, look, ultimately he did okay, but I think, like everybody in the first half, it took a while for us to get fully into the game. Yeah, and I think it was if anything, his performance was improving. So it would have been an odd change to make at half time, were there not an injury, or would it not to be for something quite significant that Glasner was unhappy with. But I think there's plenty to pick out. I mean, I saw some comments. Apologies, they've gone past, but lots of people putting Kamada's name up there and saying what a fantastic performance from him again. And just, he was excellent in key moments today. I thought, you know, I think he was the only one who kind of started at, you know, a good level. a lot of players started quite slowly, but he was kind of on it from minute one. Incredible amount of running off the ball, but the quality on the ball was just fantastic to see. Puts himself about, but the touch, the pass, the vision. He's every bit the player that we thought we'd sign first, and it just seems ridiculous now thinking back to how much we talked about his struggles and how focused it was that he was a weak link, and it was the one blind spot that Glasner had. And we all know by now that Glasner doesn't have blind spots. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it's all been proven. Kamada is just superb, just an excellent footballer.
Yeah.
So really pleased.
I forgot what I was going to say now about Kamada, but yeah, he was going to. He got cheered when he was sent off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Um.
But so again, well, let me put some questions to you then, Nick, because it was let's talk about Sarr, obviously. So, what do you think prior to the goals? What do you think of his performance?
He was running about a lot. He was getting a lot of the ball. I'll just have a quick look at who scored his player ratings. But yeah, he was getting in there. I think we were looking lively going forward, and it was good to try and get the ball forward on the break as well and have his pace there for that. But yeah, it's I still can't believe how much I slated him, saying, "Oh, he's useless, he shouldn't play," and yet he's bagged another two. So I felt a little bit sorry for him being taken off when scoring a hat trick at Anfield isn't something that happens that often, is it?
No, exactly. But probably not the wrong decision. The conditions were absolutely awful. They really were, and yeah, that's actually I was just going to say that when I was watching the game, right? Obviously, game kicked off, watching it on TV, not the best way to watch it, but still good way to watch it. Trying to take it all in, and I was just thinking everyone's just kind of that little bit slower and a bit more careless today. I had no idea it was raining until the first kind of zoomed in shot, and I must have been looking away every time they did a zoom in, because I reckon it was about half an hour before I realised there was any rain. So I felt quite stupid. But when you think about the conditions definitely had an impact as well. But both teams playing in those terrible conditions, and Palace comfortably the better team after that kind of the early exchanges. The front three in particular, I was really frustrated leading up to the first goal, because I was, it was quite clear that when Liverpool pressed us, we hit the ball long, and you're hitting the ball long to Nketiah. It doesn't do him any favours, doesn't do us any favours.
Yeah.
It was coming back, and that was the pattern really. When we managed to build through and play up the wings, we were looking a bit better. But there was big gaps in midfield. Hughes and Kamada. Kamada was dropping deep to get involved and try and sort of lead the attack from a deep position. But Hughes hasn't got the legs to go fully box to box all game anymore. So you would end up with these big gaps where a compact front three was kind of just waiting for something that wasn't happening. So we did look a little bit disjointed in attack. And that really, the first time that properly changed actually was the moment we scored. It just sort of came together. And if you watch the goal back, I'm sure many of you can, if you watch it back, actually in that attack, you'll see the gap that I'm talking about. It's the kind of centre left of the pitch. There's this massive area where there's a couple of Liverpool players, just nothing from Palace. But we managed to kind of get that overload like we often do down one of the sides, get the overload down the right. Munoz makes a run inside, making absolute nuisance of himself. Gomez does what he does. And again, fantastic finish from Sarr. And that just changes the game. And the second goal, let's talk about it, because we can talk about Pino and his 90 minutes. It's a 1-2.
The ball from Kamada before that.
Sorry, yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. But again, I can wax lyrical about Kamada all day, but I think
it's an important part of the goal, though. Without that, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, the flick from Sarr into Pino, and the kind of, I'm taking a lot of stick in the chat, and in the kind of no look sort of reverse pass into Sarr's run, which again, and Sarr's run like instinctively going in the way he did. That goal, the more you watch it, the better that goal gets, because it's all instinct. It's all, Pino's not really looked that Sarr is there. Sarr's just there. Sarr hasn't really looked to see where Pino was. He just instinctively kind of knew. Those things prove a really good point, which is, a lot of people focused on the fact that Pino's had a good start, and he started to fade a little bit in the last few games, less of an impact, but he's just coming back in now. It's just nothing's a straight line. You don't go from good, not settled in a team all the way up to settled in a team. It goes up and down a little bit, but the more he plays, the more he'll get used to the players around him, and you see that now. His involvements today don't happen without the games before it, without a little bit of struggle. You could see the relief in him today scoring the goal, and it's an 89th minute goal, whatever it was, but it's still a fantastic moment for him.
It's a quality strike, and there were. It wasn't just the 1-2 with Sarr's goal. There was a one to Mateta, as somebody's pointed out in the chat, and it's almost like he's a human wall bounce the ball off to pass it back to myself. He doesn't even look. I haven't explained that very well, but I'm sure you understand the concept.
Yeah, I don't think either of us are explaining things very well. It's very late for us. Yeah, but look, it's again, I got a bit of stick for being negative. I don't think I'm being negative. I was just trying to kind of give a bit of analysis as to what actually happened today. Ultimately, you can't be negative about a 3-0 win at Anfield. You cannot. And look, we've not been in the best of. No, it's not to say we've not been the best of form. We've not had the best run of results in the last few games, but I think this is a sign of where we've come from and where we are, because we're into the 5th round of this cup now, and this you know it right now. We are amongst the top teams that can win this. We've just knocked Liverpool out of it. They would be, if not the favourites, up there with the favourites, and we've knocked them out. We got them in the 4th round. I still think, even though we know Palace are a good side these days, I still think dare I say, majority of us, when we had that draw, would have probably said, "Oh well, makes it a lot." But we're not that team anymore. We don't have to look at a game in the 4th round against Liverpool as a problem. We look at it as an opportunity to knock a big side out earlier, make that run to the final all the more easy. So I think we've got lots to be positive about. I really do. And what we've achieved today against what is still a very good team is excellent, and it hopefully puts our little blip, if you want to even call it that, back on, puts us back on track. So there you go.
I'm going to put up what Tim said there. Hello, Tim. Thanks to everybody joining in. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Do think this win's important. Turning chances into goals has been our biggest problem, and we did that tonight. Second goal is such a great example of that, and we can say that that really sums up Larnaca, doesn't it? How many chances did we have? What was our XG in that game, to quote a horrible phrase? But we've struggled to put the ball in the onion bag, and tonight we've done it 3 times at Anfield, albeit against a youth team. But you play what's put in front of you, and their Rio player. Oh, wouldn't you like him on your team? He looks about 12.
He is about 17, isn't he? Yeah. Do you know? I mean, that little curling effort first half.
Yeah.
Had me very worried. Yeah, do you know what? A lot of pace, a lot of abilities. He's going to go far, but we got a lot of good players as well. So
And I know we're not a Liverpool pod, but the Liverpool manager didn't look that bothered, did he? He was laughing and joking with the 4th official, even when they were 3-0 down.
Yeah, he's a strange one. Yeah, look, questions being asked of him. They really are, and you can see why. But you don't really want any big clubs to be thinking about managerial changes right now, because we're still hoping we get to keep ours beyond this season, aren't we? So you don't really want any changes now. So I'm sure he'll pull it back, and everything will be great.
Now I wanted to come across mention something to Mr. Clark of Once of This Parish.
He still technically is, isn't he? Just
he makes the occasional appearance.
Yeah.
The next match is the quarter-final, which is the week commencing the 15th of December. Okay. So, our fixtures around this: the 11th away to Shelbourne, the 14th home to Man City, the 18th away to Cups, and the 21st away to Leeds. Now, where do we fit that game in? Do we play on a Tuesday and a Thursday?
It's a wonderful question. I don't know. I have no idea. Stuff's gonna have to get moved, isn't it? But if it can, I have no idea. You've asked a question that I cannot possibly answer,
and which makes you wonder which is the most important thing to go for, which is priority.
I think Oliver Glasner would tell you that every game is important and we want to win every trophy.
Yeah, I wonder what Roy's team would have been tonight.
Anyway, let's not drift too much. So into that particular route. So left in the cup, we have Brentford, Fulham, Cardiff, Arsenal, obviously ourselves, Man City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. So who is it you all want? Me. I'm one of those people who just wants the easiest available tie. So Newcastle is. That is a joke. I would like it to be Cardiff City, then Fulham, then Brentford, then Newcastle, then Chelsea, then City, then Arsenal. There you go. I've solved all that. Anybody else?
I just know it'll be Newcastle away.
It does. It feels like that. But look, we got nothing to fear from any of those for sure. And I think this is a fantastic opportunity for us. It's And if you honestly don't want to think too far ahead, we get an opportunity to win this one. I think it's the next trophy to win, other than since the Charity Shield, isn't it? Community Shield. I'm showing my age now. Community Shield. So it would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and we can still dream, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
But in terms of
who's the guy that came on for Munoz from Trinidad and Tobago? His name's completely escaped me.
Rio Cardines or Cardines.
Cardines.
It's probably Cardines, surely.
Yeah, they said Cardines. What, like sardines?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't say I'm gonna have a tin of sardines, do you? That'd be ridiculous.
If it's Spanish, you might.
Anyway, he's a decent player. When he when he made his debut, it was Glasner had said he doesn't give anything away for free, and he'd earned it. And I think that's a nice sentiment, and I think it's very encouraging. Obviously, it was Kafora who was probably down as Munoz's deputy, if you like, for the season, but injury has kind of curtailed that for at least for the time being. So it's given him an opportunity, and yeah, he's a full international for Trinidad and Tobago, and all power to him, really. Yeah, that's right. In the chat there, he did almost get a goal against Kiev. So yeah, really, really impressive young player, and again, lots to be happy about there. Known as the Cardinal in the dressing room. I think that's a lie, Quentin. I really do. But maybe. So look,
I'd call him Wolsey then. It'd move on. You've got to go one step beyond, like Aris.
Listen. You've already caused me some consternation by referring to the goal as the onion bag. I genuinely don't think that's happened since 1984. So, and apologies to anyone born in recent history who didn't know what the hell Nick was talking about there. But look, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Put your boot through the lace of the ball as well. I'll add to that one. Yeah. Who was your man of the match, Hamber?
I mean, it's hard to really look beyond to beyond Kamada just for the impact that he had. I think Sarr probably gets a shout for being so clinical with the finishes, and probably most importantly, just the intelligent runs that he makes. You don't have to be sensational all game to be the player that turns the match. He's in the right place at the right time. You got to have a word for Pino, because overall it was a game where he just gave everything that he could possibly give. Yet again, he does all the defensive work, all the running that you can ask of him. He takes up intelligent positions all game, and sometimes it just doesn't go for him, and you think, sort of 15, 20 minutes of that game, you're just thinking, has he even touched the ball? Where is he? And then, it changes, and he's got the quality when it matters. So I want to give him a quick shout out as well. But I think for me, Kamada just did everything. So yeah, for me, it was him.
Yeah, but he would have got the man of the match were it not for that reckless yellow card towards the end, which is a worry. With Pino, so I'll go with a South Granville. I'll go with Sarr for the man of the match.
So yeah, again, for everybody, Granville is a reference to Open All Hours, Ronnie Barker sitcom. If you've there's some, I recognize some of the names in the chat who definitely know what it is. So sorry for over explaining for you, but it's very good though, wasn't it? Open All Hours, Nick.
Yeah, can you walk around with me forever explaining what I'm saying?
Explaining what you're saying. I think if I ever win the lottery and I've got nothing else going on, I will certainly do that for you. But
all right, thank you very much.
My actual sort of day job really gets in the way a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim's giving Pino a pass there for the conditions. I think that's generous, Tim. But at the same time, I give him a pass because it's enthusiasm. Oh yeah, no, we did have a Granville, didn't we? Do you remember Danny Granville?
There you go. I think we need to end now
Granville
before they start really abusing us. I mean,
yeah,
gambling as Gladys Emmanuel.
It's the role I was born to play. But yeah, apologies everybody for being so kind of tired, weird, and rambling. I should never have agreed to do this show. I agreed 2.5 weeks ago and forgot, quite frankly. So zero thought or preparation. But that's how we do things. Look, 3-0 victory at Anfield. We've beaten Liverpool 3 times already this season. Don't get much better than that, does it? Wonderful performance, fantastic team effort. Rode our luck. No, we didn't ride our luck. It was toe to toe. It was 50-50, but eventually we really just let our quality tell. And whoever we get in the next round, we've got nothing to fear whatsoever. On our day, we can beat any of them, and probably will. Yes. So with that, thank you, Nick. Thank you for your time. It's good to see your face again, even if your video freezes.
When are you going to get to a game, Mr. Hambo? It'll be good to see.
Who knows? I'm a very busy man.
Well, I'm recording the Brentford preview tomorrow while I'm on school holidays. They seem to be using me a lot. And then there'll be the usual shenanigans post-show Brentford on Saturday, which should be good.
Oh, are you doing that thing where you kind of promote what's coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good idea. You should do that more often. Yeah. Anyway, more stuff will come up. Thanks, Nick. I don't know when I'm back. I'll be on again at some point. But thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for all the comments, especially ones that distracted me. And sorry we didn't get any time for any one of you to join us, but it would have been problematic. You can see that. You experienced this. You know we had problems. So until next time, up the Palace and enjoy the win. Bye-bye. It took ages to end that.